We're back, people. 12th man is back. Big up to everybody that's in the house already. Make sure you do me a favor, hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're on the road to the big 60K is the next target. So make sure you've hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you're following OK Jerseys. The code for Christmas is 12 man. You'll get 8% off. And the link in the live chat and pinned in the live chat is the channel merch. If you use the code FTM20, you'll get a nice Christmas bit of discount as well. And there will be in time for Christmas now if you're ordering nice and early. So make sure you go check that out, people. You've all asked for this one, so I tried to deliver where I can, people. We got Johnny Minerals back in the house. It's been way too long, but it's great to have you back on, John. How you doing, bruv?
I'm all right, Dan. So have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC as always. And big up to all my ultras that are live and locked in. And big up to everyone on the 12th Man podcast. You know what I'm saying? I hope everyone's winning life. You know the deal, bruv. And pleasure to come on, Dan. Come on.
It's a pleasure to have you, bruv. Pleasure. Always been a big fan of your content, mate. And I know you're not always live, but when you are, try and tune in and try and catch up with your thoughts and feelings of the season, bruv, which is where we're going to start. Because I see a lot of people in this Chelsea fan base that don't like what I say about Chelsea, because I'm used to Chelsea with Drogba, Lampard, Terry, Cech, destroying my teenage years. And I don't see that at Chelsea right now, mate. I look at the ownership and I look at the players that you've got. I just see a bunch of hoarders, basically hoarding young players to one day make some profit. And that's affecting what you're doing, in my opinion, going forward. So I look at the situation and winning stuff, and I can appreciate you won the Club World Cup and the Conference League. But the standards that you club from some of the fan base, I just don't get it, if I'm honest with you. And, celebrating drawing to us and trying to put us in the mud and all that kind of stuff. Like, I've seen Drogba dunk on us, mate. Like, that weren't scary what I saw. Do you know what I mean, with Chelsea this season? So, look, don't get me wrong, bruv. You've got some really good players. I'm a big fan of Caicedo, and I think Cole Palmer's a baller. I also think Reece James and Cucurella are two of the best fullbacks in the league. But other than that, I just look at a bunch of average players that your club have spent this load of money on, and it's been, 1.6 to 2 billion pounds. And if I'm honest with you, apart from the players I've just mentioned, I think a lot of them have been a waste of money. And I appreciate Lavia and Fofana are injury prone, but there's some good players, but that's kind of a bit of an issue. Other than that, I just don't think the team's good enough to go for what I believe they should be going for, which is a title. And I look at the standards of some of the fans, and it's like, well, top four is what we got to expect. Well, we've spent the most money in 3 years. Why are you not pushing on? And that's where I'm at. So, look, maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm an Arsenal fan. And I don't particularly like your football club, and I know you don't particularly like mine. But sometimes you just got to say how it is, Johnny. Do you know what I mean? So what's your take on this season, bruv?
Well, first and foremost, let's pick up Brad and Jenny in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let me just have a little look. Oh, I'm looking for that Chelsea title charge. Ain't nowhere to be seen, is it, nowadays? Yeah. You see, the problem we got, Dan, is our gaffer, or yes man, is inverted tactics. He's got an inverted hairline. We got an inverted fan base right now. You know what I'm saying? We got an inverted title charge, inverted squad building, inverted directors. I mean, everything's inverted at this football club at this rate. You know what I'm saying? It's that bad. Like, what are we actually doing here, bruv? You know, phase four. We spent 2 billion. Like, I don't want to hear Melts go, oh yeah, but we've made $1 billion back. I don't give a shit about what we make back. It's about what's on the pitch. It's about what's the intent, what's the ambition at this football club. Because we're going into phase 4. We are in the 4th year under this ownership. And what? They're setting the standards with the managers saying, you know, top 4's a target. I ain't having that. This is Chelsea Football Club. You know, what's everyone in this acceptance for? Bruv, we were silenced to the Lambo, bruv. Now we've got this fan base so inverted. They're moving like that geezer in Silence of the Lambs, bruv, with an inverted fucking, you know what? You know what I mean? They've got their bucket of brown envelopes and they're going about spewing out all this Bonnie Blue Cone narrative. I'm tired of this nonsense, bruv. Like, how long am I going to wait? You know, what, we're going into Project 2033. Like, let's be real, yeah? That squad we've built, we've bought almost 100 players since they've taken over our football club, yeah? They've convinced an entire fan base that we were in dire need of a rebuild, but yet Roman Abramovich, the Don himself, had us the most successful club, 19 years, 21 trophies, spent 2.1 billion in 19 years. These clowns have spent 2 billion in 7 transfer windows. Yeah. All right. We have got 90 to 100 players that they bought. And they told us 2 seasons ago, they believe they built a 100-point team. Bruv, we're closer to the 100 players mark than we are 100 points. Yeah. How long are we waiting for this 100 points, bruv? Like, this is a joke, bruv. Honestly, how this fan base, we were admired, we were hated, we were adored for being relentless, ruthless, higher fire mentality, win or get binned, the standards of how it should be at Chelsea. Roman turned us into an absolute elite football club, a monster, a powerhouse, the greatest Barcelona team in the history of football. Feared Chelsea. They come out publicly and said they feared Chelsea. Who fears us now, bruv? Let's be real. You got Paulstein coming out going, Arsenal and Liverpool are really scared of Chelsea's ambition. Oh, are they so scared that Liverpool have just won a title and they might be in the mud now because in transition, yeah, and slot machine ain't paying out no jackpots at the minute, and he might be getting a P45. And then you got Lego Head, bruv, who's fucking what? He's 8 points ahead of us. He's 8 points ahead of us right now. Yeah. We're closer to 14th position than we are at the top. So which way are we going, bruv? What is this, yo-yo gymnastics? This is mental gymnastics this fan base demonstrates, bruv. That's what they throw out. No spine, bruv. Listen, Dan, let's have it right. If you spend 2 billion, let's half it. Let's cut the cake in half. You spend 1 billion. 1 billion, yeah? Even with Arsenal, yeah, or Man United, most supporters are going to go, I wouldn't have spent it like that. I wouldn't have bought these players. But if you had 1 billion, yeah, you're telling me you're going to assemble this Chelsea squad. Everyone's overhyping, overglossing mediocrity at this football club. All right, we've got a wage cap of 150 grand a week. All right, so that obliterates and eliminates you, restricts you in the market to buying any world-class elite talent, elite or proven players. Let's have it right. Why do we have to go for, oh, he's got the potential? Why can't we just get the real thing? Why can't we get the ready-made players and integrate it and mix it up, with young experience or very youthful, high potential players? There's nothing wrong with that. The proven blueprint in football, as we know it, Dan, yeah, is you have your world-class players, you have your spine of a team, all right? And around that spine, you can add your Estevals, you can add your young talents, all right? Like we had at Chelsea, we had Lampard, Cech, Drogba, like you name it, bruv, Terry. And then we brought in Eden Hazard, a young Eden Hazard. And he wasn't proven, like he was just talent, like at a good, really high level. And we brought him in and look how he just elevated, bruv, to being one of the best players to ever grace the Premier League. Like that's how you do it. Sir Alex Ferguson, bruv, it's proven he had, they go, is it the class of 96 or whatever? And they talk about, or 92, and they say,
class 92, yeah.
Yeah, 92, and they're going, oh, we won it with a young team. No, bruv, you had like Roy Keane in there, you had Cantonage, you had like real experience in that team to lead these young players, your right. Gary Neville's at the time and that. So you can't expect, yeah, to have no world-class spine and go on a title charge or go on any serious intent or challenge, bruv. This is the problem, bruv. Now, I can see it as a major pattern through football as a whole. And for me personally, my agenda's on football and how football's in the mud and how this ownership at Chelsea are like trend setting this whole, youthful, young talent and lowering the average age of a football team to show that they can compete at the highest level. It's never been done in the history of football. So why is it going to happen now, bruv? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm not delusional, bruv. I know what a title-winning team looks like. I know what titles we won with Chelsea teams. You know what I'm saying? I know I've seen Arsenal win titles. I've seen United and how they win titles. And to be honest with you, every one of our clubs are in the mud. When you talk about those levels, no standards. And the problem we've got is the media, the brand envelope matrix, are glossing up mediocrity to make everyone accept it, to make everyone believe and psych them into believing that, yeah, this is the elite levels, bruv. Yeah, like I ain't wrong. I know I ain't wrong, but I'm probably the most hatest Chelsea content creator, whatever the fuck these wrongins want to call it, bruv. Yeah, or just a Chelsea supporter that wants to land it, bruv. Like the truth is scarce right now. Freedom of speech. Ask Joey Barton, bruv. You know what I mean? he's getting skinned alive, bruv. Like,
bro.
you can't speak it no more.
The thing is, man, there's not many people that are left to be able to take that risk to say it how it is as well, man. There's only a few in our fan base as well, bro. Most of them are like absolutely bowing down to what we've been doing in the last 5 years. Well, I haven't lifted anything yet, so what am I supposed to be getting excited about? And this season, yeah, it's looking good. The squad looking stronger, but there's still question marks, in my opinion, about whether this manager's got the minerals, so to speak, to get it across the line. And I don't know if he has, bruv. I've got this question mark about Arteta still. So that's kind of where I'm at. But we'll get to Arsenal in a minute. Look, I think you're learning facts there about Chelsea, right? What is it about this fan base then that when I say you should have got instead, me and LB, big up to LB, he's a Man City fan. We get a lot of hate, bruv, from Chelsea fans. They don't like what we're saying about it. Now, all I'm trying to do is say, instead of going and getting Liam Delap, why don't you try and get Victor Osimhen? Or instead of going and spending money on Garnacho and Gittins, why don't you go and spend money on Rodrigo? These are sort of players that I thought Chelsea would have been going for, right? But unfortunately, they're going for these young kids still. Whenever I try to better the Chelsea squad in my mind, and you might not like some of them players, but my thought is go and get the ready-made now, yeah? You've got a lot of youngsters. Don't need any more of these youngsters to be ready in 5 years' time that you might sell on for a bit more profit for your ownership to go and put in their pocket, right? So for me, when I look at it, I think what Chelsea need right now is clear. It's ready-made players to add to the players that you've got who we do rate, the Caicedos, Palmers, James, Cucuretas, right? That's what you need. When you mention that, Johnny, right, to these fans, they go mental. What are you talking about? Don't you like our project? You haven't won anything in 5 years. Hey, hang on a minute. Don't worry about Arsenal. We'll get to them. Trust me. In a minute. Chelsea, I'm trying to better that squad. And they don't want to hear it. It's like they're so in love with this project that it's spent loads of money on. But actually, you should be going for Premier League titles, mate. Yeah, you shouldn't be winning that Club World Cup and Conference League, and then you should be going out for the Premier League. It shouldn't be, well, I know we've won that, but top four and maybe a cup, that would be about where we're at. And I understand that's realistic with the squad you've got, but you shouldn't be happy with that. Nearly £2 billion in. And I don't understand the fans that are right with this. This is what I don't get. They just want me excited, They've got the best this, the best that, the best that. Oh, you must be ready for the league then. Oh, no, that's Arsenal's job. We're just happy to come in fourth. What is it then? I don't get where the standards have gone with your football club, bruv. Because there's no way 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd be saying to me on here, top four is about where we're at. Let Arsenal win them things. We'll just build. I don't get what's happened to them. They're not the same fans that ruined my teenage years, bruv. They can't be. Because there's no way this club looks anything like the way it did 15 years ago under Roman. Let's just say how it is, bruv. It's crazy. But they seem happy with this. I had enough of Roman at the end. Tuchel had to go. You won a Champions League. What's happening? Like, what's going on? Like, seriously, mate. They're happy with it.
They've had enough of Roman.
Crazy, isn't it?
Listen, these silly sausages are mincing about, bruv, all day long with their brown envelope, Bonnie Blue PR narrative of toxic positivity, bruv. Yeah, delusion's one hell of a drug, but then you could be getting your brown envelopes as well. Whatever form that comes in, it might be, we'll offer you the 10% Chelsea Megasod discount QR code to have it right. They might offer you ITK links. They might put you in engagement groups. They might help you get sponsorships with a William Hill, or get you on big platforms like the Overlap. Or, you might get yourself in the elephant walking circle with a Teletubby Robbie or a Brent de Cesar or a Terry Flowers, you know what I mean? And they're all holding bouquets, bending over backwards for these wrong'uns, yeah? These are the facts, yeah? But like, I can go into many factors, bruv. But let me put it into simple terms, yeah? Don Roman, when he took over, Chelsea were a cup team. We had Ruud Gullit, who Meatloaf Tout Bowley ain't got a clue who he was when he met him. Didn't even know he managed Chelsea, didn't even know he played for Chelsea, didn't know he was a Ballon d'Or winner, didn't know he's an absolute goat in the game, bruv. In fact, I've got my little Ruud here, bruv. He's always here, bruv, with me, yeah, to remind me of what a legacy, the foundations he laid. Then Roman comes in and he brings in Peter Kenyon, yeah, from Man United. He then, after that, brings in Jose in the second season. We win the title in his second season after blowing money, after trying to sign Thierry Henry and Ronaldinho and all these players, bruv, yeah? And the rest is history. We won every trophy that can be won. He left us as world champions. So we've already won the Club World Cup, and everyone's glossing up this new Gen Z Club World Cup. That's what's killed our fan base, Gen Z. They're in their mum's basement, wanking in a sock and all that jazz, and cutting shapes and playing Football Manager, and it's all XG porn and You know the deal. I don't want to get into the details. But, you know, you've got all that. He's won us every trophy, yeah? He left us debt-free, bruv. 1.72 billion debt-free. These clowns have blown 2 billion in 7 transfer windows. We have not got a team to compete for anything at this rate, anything of any relevance. And if you ain't winning the Premier League, you ain't winning the Champions League or competing at the highest level to win those, then you're irrelevant, which all these content creators get their knickers in a twist because they're so desperate to be relevant. They're just happy to get top 4 and be in Champions League so they can go on their platforms and talk about how Chelsea are in the Champions League and, you know, we're not in the Tin Pot Conference League that West Ham won and that Crystal Palace might win, you know what I mean? And everyone's celebrating that like it's some unbelievable trophy or the Club World Cup. I don't celebrate Tin Pot trophies, bruv. What we doing here, bruv? Even the Carabao Cup's got more heritage than these 2 fucking trophies here. What we doing here, bruv? Yeah, I'm a real geezer, bruv. I've seen Chelsea win the best of the best and be the best. You know what I mean? I ain't laying my standards for no one. And when your majority owner, Siri Merchant Barley, walks around in the bridge with a Birkin bag, that tells you everything. I mean, their Epstein FC project, yeah, buying just kids galore, bruv. It makes Epstein look pony, bruv. Makes him look like he's innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is football. This is football we're talking about. God knows what they're doing. We're handing out all their pizzas and that. I don't know what to say, bruv, yeah? And they probably have pineapple on pizza, the wrong ends. I don't know what to say, bruv, yeah? What are we doing here? But anyway, the reality is, Dan, yeah, all right? When you look at it, yeah, I was calling out when we so-called got Champions League football, yeah? Everyone in the families was saying, no, we've got to go on a title charge now. We need to go and get established players. Now these melts are saying, oh, experienced and world-class players are overhyped. It's overrated. Look at Liverpool. They bought players and they're overrated. Fuck off. When Isaac was available, do you know what they were saying? They were saying, oh, loan Delap, yeah, who got relegated with Ipswich and got 12 goals a season, loan him out and bring me Isaac. Hold on a minute. You told me we got our baby Costa. Now this so-called baby Costa, how many goals has he scored? He spent more time on the injury bed than we've seen him strike a ball, for crying out loud. Pedro's gone on a 7-game run or 8-game run of not a shot on goal, all right, and he's meant to be our R9, they tell us. Yeah, this is look how they gloss this shit up, bruv. You know, and they might have talent, bruv. You know, but Delap now, you know, the builder, the bricklayer, whatever you want to call it, he's multifaceted. He's a baby Costa. Well, he must have been plastering pretty heavy, bruv, because his shoulder's gone. You know what I mean? Holding that trowel 24/7, bruv, because he ain't scoring or assisting or doing nothing these days. So we've spent almost 80 to 100 million on strikers that can't hit a barn door. Now they're crying back for Nicholas Sloshpot Jackson, who any Sloshpot wet going, I need motivation because playing for Chelsea ain't motivation, bruv. Yeah. And this guy's moonwalk us to where exactly? And he even told you, Melts, yeah, that the plane don't fly backwards. He's at Bayern Munich with Harry Kane, spitface, landing it, bruv. You know, scoring more GA, getting more GA and having a whale of a time, bruv. Eating those German sausages, mate. Yeah. And then we got at the back, oh, Colwell's gone. He's on you, John Terry. Bruv, let's have it right, yeah? Let's say it for what it really is. When John Terry comes out after losing at 30 leads, let me run through the so-called title gender narrative, yeah? We drew to Crystal Palace. We drew to Fulham. And both those games, we were very lucky not to lose those games. Yes, have it right. We lost to the worst Man United team. At the moment in time, they're in the gutter, bruv. They're in the gutter when we played them. They beat us. We lost to Brighton at home, who we base our entire model on. Yeah, and Red Bull. And Red Bull gives you wings, but there's no fucking wings at Bonnie Blue Co. Yeah, the headquarters, it's all burnt down, bruv, to shit, like 9/11. All right. And then you got, then we lost to, what was it? Sunderland, of course, you know, newly promoted Sunderland. We've got to level it out a little bit in the Premier League, you know. So Sunderland come to Stamford Bridge, the fortress, where we got Vivid Seats selling tickets for 4 or 5 grand a piece and basically shoehorning proper Chelsea out of the ground because they're outpricing them, but that's another discussion. We got Sunderland 1-0 down. We were beating them. They were 1-0 down. They come back 2-1. They beat us. What a disgrace that is. Then we go to dirty Leeds. Oh, sorry, no, I've fast tracked. Let's not fast track because we got to establish why we're in a title charge. Because we beat the worst Barcelona team that I've seen in my existence, bruv, of me being born, bruv. Yeah, and all these Gen Zs that have just come out of the womb, it's like they don't know what the greatest Barcelona team is. This to them, this is Barcelona. It's Barcelona at this rate. You know, private equity. That's what happens, bruv. They completely chew up and asset strip anything that is in sight. Yeah, the Sharks. And then we go and when we play Arsenal, we're going to do Arsenal. Arsenal's the benchmark. Arsenal, they can go 9 points clear if they beat Chelsea. Lego Heads still undefeated at the Bridge. Still undefeated. Let's have it right. You know, he's had a very good time since Blue Cove been in charge. And, well, what happens? We go 10-man down. We lose Casado, the most important player. The most important player, where everything after that, it all turns to shit. Let's have it right. And then you've got Arsenal. And I have to speak on this because everyone doesn't say it as it is. They say Chelsea played so well. We were a 10-man down. We made Arsenal look like, what are they really? What are they? What did they do? Well, that happens when you lose a core piece of your spine. You see, when you have a spine and you take one disc out, you tell me how you function, bruv. Do you function all right? Are you walking all right? Are you going to the gym? Are you bench pressing your 200 kg, bruv? What are you doing, bruv? Yeah? Or you crawling like a little baby, yeah, going gaga goo goo, asking for your breast milk? Because a lot of these people ain't been breastfed, brother. I believe that. I strongly believe that. Yeah. But anyway, what's his name? Declan Rice. Let's play centre back for the majority of the game, bruv. You know what I mean? Trossard, who's your most informed player, doesn't play. Gyökeres. Yes, I'm going to score 400 goals this season. Star striker for Chelsea. Yes, I'm going to celebrate this all day long. I ain't seen it, bruv. I'll be real. I ain't seen it. You know, he's a bit overweight. Burger is at this moment in time. But anyway, whatever it is, yeah, I'm not going to take the piss too much. Let's be real and talk proper football, bruv. Yeah, but in that game, there was a reason, bruv. You know, Arsenal were the way they were. If you had Gabriel, if you had Saliba, if you had Declan Rice playing in his number 8 central midfield position where he can help the transitions, it would have been a different ball game altogether. Yeah. All right. And this is a fact. I don't care what anyone tells me. Yeah. So we got away with it and we had an opportunity and we should have beaten you in that game. We didn't. So we couldn't even beat a limp Arsenal, so to speak, in that game. All of a sudden, we're in a title charge. Chelsea are going to go all the way, and we're actually title contenders, yeah. Only to go and play Leeds, the dirty Leeds, and get spanked 3-1. A Leeds that lost 3 on the bounce. Then we want a reaction, and we play Bournemouth and draw a 0-0 dross, the worst dross. We didn't even have a shot on goal in the first half. It was absolute dire, bruv, to watch that. I mean, what's happening to my beloved Chelsea? It's disgusting, man. It really is. It's filth, yeah? It's disgraceful. And they put in a performance like that, all right? Yeah? Oh, we're going to blame it. It's not all on Casado, are we? Well, we spent $2 billion. We should have an unbelievable squad. We were told we've got one of the best teams in the world football. We've got the best left back, best right back, best centre back partnership. We got an unbelievable goalkeeper in Sanchez who had the most unforced errors last season out of any goalkeeper. All right. We've got a strike force. We got baby Kittens on the left for 55 million, who was benched at Dortmund. We got Baby Lurch, who everyone in the fan base was hashtagging note to Garnacho. Make sense of that. We've got Esteban Willian, who, let's have it right. I back the star boy. I think he's a wonderful talent, but he needs some fucking generals in there with him. You know what I mean? You can't expect a 18-year-old kid to carry us like he's Coldman's Palmer. Coldman's Palmer, I told everyone, who was injured. Yeah, last season. He was carrying that all the way through Club World Cup. Everyone's fucked and knackered from the Club World Cup. Let's have it right. So, you know, we're going to get injuries, aren't we now? You know? Cole Palmer, we haven't seen him because it's Cole Palmer FC. And even he come back against Bournemouth, took a shot and he was like, oh, like that. And then now he's not flying tonight. He's not on the plane, bruv. He's doing a Nicholas Jackson. You know what I mean? So we got that, all right? And John Terry comes out after the Dirty Leeds game. What does John Terry say? Because apparently these people know ball, you know, all these journalists, this ownership, project's never worked in history of football. They know it's going to work. It's all data. And we're bringing, what's his name? Cooked Paul, who's from the Timberwolves is it NFL? He's he's an Einstein, apparently, yeah? We got Hacker with the mentality monster in the dressing room, bruv, yeah? Doing the All Blacks and all that shit. Where's he gone, bruv? Yeah? We got melts in the fan base going, Meatloaf, Tout Bowley and Siri Merchant are Don Roman on steroids, bruv. Or if that's the case, our bollocks are shrunk, our dicks are inverted, yeah, and we've had a vasectomy, yeah, because we ain't winning anything that of any fucking relevance right now, yeah, all right? Baseball, NBA, all that bollocks, get it in the bin. This is football. This is terraces, yeah. I don't want to see any of this nonsense. John Terry comes out and no one wants to pay attention to him because he's a legend at our football club, yeah. He's Chelsea. He had the chance to sign Man United when he was a kid. No, he said, no, I want to play for Chelsea, bruv. And he signed for Chelsea and the rest is history. Yeah. Comes out. He says, we're too inexperienced. We need experience. We haven't got any experience. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, we're not in a title charge. Oh, I thought we were in a title charge. Silly sausages. Then we've got, what else does he say? He says, stop rotation, because we've broken a record in the Premier League for 125 changes of rotation. That's a record. Yeah. Why? Why so many changes? Because we've got a stock market of players that need that are assets. They need their value put up, didn't they? So that they can flog them, bruv, for a pound note. It's all about, I would do anything for pound notes and experience. We ain't fucking with that. Yeah, Meatloaf Cup Bowling is Vivid Seats. We got Ticketmaster and Clear Lake Capital. Yeah, with their owning of the software of Ticketmaster. We got Premier League investigations on Meatloaf Tout Bowley, bruv. And let's not forget Bowley, yeah, because I called him Meatloaf. He cut his hair, bruv. If you saw him when he first signed for Chelsea, when he signed Chelsea, he had longish hair like Meatloaf. He cut it shorter, bruv. But you can't get away with it, my son. You sellout. Wrong un, bruv. Epstein FC merchant. Golden Globe merchant. Meatloaf Tout Bowley, yeah, bruv. I know you're on to me, you wrong'un, yeah. But I'll tell you this now for free, bruv, yeah. Meatloaf, before he passed away, and God rest his soul, he cut his hair so you still look like him, bruv, yeah. End of story, yeah. So anyway, bruv, yeah. I'm getting, I know I spit on the mic, bruv. Slim Minnell Shady, you know what I mean? 8 Mile settings, bruv. That's how I am. I just go with my flow, bruv. So forgive me, you know what I mean? If you don't
I love it, man. Keep going, bruv.
You know what I mean? I'm done with it. I'm done with it because John Terry's come out and landed it and spoke the facts. And now the club ain't going to be too happy. Are they going to treat him like Pat Nevin when he called out the owners and got sacked? All right. What about Makalele? He chose to leave. He didn't want to be there, bruv. Yeah. The GOAT. Great. You know, don't compare me. Stop the comparisons of Casado to Makalele and Kante. Even Kante is still not as good as Makalele, bruv. Makalele is... the position was named after him, bruv. All right. And then they're doing comparisons between Casado and Declan Rice. They're different positions, bruv. They can play together, right. You know. Instead, Casado's got to play with that elite coach singer, bruv. That coach singer, bruv. Yeah. All right. Traffic cone, who cost us 105 million. Yeah. You know what I mean? Casado's got to carry this guy, bruv. He's got to run around the traffic cone to carry our midfield, bruv. And now we can all see the repercussions of that now in the last 2 games. You know what I mean? I would gladly have Casado and Declan Rice. I'd have Mason Mount next to Casado, bruv. You know, everyone saw his performance yesterday. You know what I mean? Everyone saw that. You know, this is the problem we got. We got Kerrigan Winstanley, the director, Stuart Little, Joe Shields with his black book from Man City, because that's all he fucking well knows. Yeah. We've got Siri Merchant Barley and Meatloaf Tout Bowley with their data and all this shit, bruv. Like football doesn't work on data. Football works on eye tests, bruv. Yeah. But these lot need to go Specsavers or something. Because I don't know what they're seeing, bruv. These lot are acting like Al Pacino, bruv, in Scent of a Woman. I'm in the dark here. I'm in the dark. But he can fucking see crystal clear, bruv. These lot in the crystal maze. Telling you, bruv. It's like they're fishing for any brown envelope. It's mad to me, bruv. Yeah. But when you talk about why did the fan base accept this, bruv? Well, the problem we got, right? We got Paulstein, Fabrizio Romano, yeah. Toothpick Jacobs. Do you know Toothpick Jacobs? Ben Jacobs, yeah.
Oh, Ben Jacobs, yeah. I've not had him on here, but everyone else has had him on. I think.
Yeah, everyone has him on. He's like a brass. He's like Lily Phillips these days, bruv. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't look like a glazed donut walking down the street, bruv, with those specs. A giveaway, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to see fuck all on the screen. Yeah, he wouldn't know what narrative he's reading. He wouldn't have a clue because he's got his script in front of him. He talks like he's some sort of poet. You know what I mean? Like he's some sort of Shakespearean or something. Well, he's related to Jonathan Goldstein. You know, he's cousins of Jonathan Goldstein. Jonathan Goldstein, he's on the board at Chelsea. He come from Spursy. because we love bringing a bit of Spurs to Chelsea, like we did with Bottltino. You sacked Thomas Tuchel, all right, for Jellyfish Potter, all right? Turn the fan base into jellyfishes, bruv, in buying into all this nonsense, all right? You brought in Bottltino, ex-Spursy, and it's funny, in all the big games, Maresca resorts to, or reverts to Pochettino style of play, where you play natural fullbacks, you know? You don't invert everything, bruv. Everything has to go inverted all the time. And fucking boring as shit, bruv. And then you get Pep Guardiola coming out going, oh, Enzo Maresca, he's one of the best managers in the world, and we will be there, and we will be there, and all this nonsense, bruv. Yeah, got overhyping this manager, bruv. He was a cigar holder to Pep. You know what I mean? He ain't worried about him, bruv. He talks up Lego Head. He talked up Pochettino. He talked up Jellyfish Potter. He never talked up Thomas Tuchel, though, did he now? No, he didn't. Why? Because Thomas Tuchel was a threat to Pep Guardiola. Thomas Tuchel done 3 games on him that season. We won the Champions League. And now, you know what I mean? You had Liam Gallagher crying his eyes out. Yeah? Saying put the kettle on in Porto. Well, we did indeed. We were drinking them Lavat Supergram and minerals, bruv. We were lifting our second Champions League trophy. Thomas Tuchel, in less than 4 months, won the Champions League. In 13 months, won Club World Cup, Super Cup, and Champions League, and got us top 4 from taking over in January, where we were 8th position. That's how you fucking land the minerals. That's how you show intent. Because Don Roma said, I'm going to get an elite manager in. Yeah, and they sacked that elite manager because he didn't want to be a yes man and have these clowns going in that dressing room. And now everyone's sponsoring them going in that dressing room. Oh, it's fantastic. You know, they're doing the 50 Cent, bring them in, bring them out, bring them in, bring them out. You know what I mean? You've all heard that tune, bruv. Yeah. What's he talking about? Hose. Talking about brasses. Yeah. That's what we've turned into, bruv. The fan base, YouTube, all the journalists in the pocket of Blue Coat. This is how you control the narrative. Yeah. Let me educate a lot of people. Yeah. Steve Jobs. Yeah. All right. Another one that's gone. Another one that got taken out of the game. Yeah. He come out on a podcast and he said, you know, it's funny. In China, their products are so good, they don't need to spend money on marketing. They don't need to spend money on PR because their product does, it's like Ron Seal, does what it says on the tin. But in America, you have to spend billions on PR to overgloss it, to hype it up, to make it desirable to everyone to buy it. Well, what do you think these owners are doing? And in every football club and all the PR is there to make you believe and want it and buy into it. You want to buy off that apple, didn't you? That fell not very far off the tree, bruv. You want to buy into that. Well, that's what's happened. They've got every Chelsea YouTube content creator. I'll tell you that for free, bruv. Yeah? Whether they're down the pecking order, bruv, but they're all snakes and ladder merchants. They love the game Snakes and Ladders because it's all about getting up in that. I want to be an engagement group. I want to be I want to know journalists. I want to have journalists on. I want to get the ITK. I want to get the clicks, all right? Then you get the 10% discount, you know, vouchers. Then you get the sponsorships. Then you get the gambling. Then you get the, we'll pay you to do this. Oh, and then you can be part of Paul Cannaville's foundation, you know, who Roman named a suite after. Because he was our first ever black player to play for Chelsea. Yeah? All right? So you're part of the foundation now. You're getting flown out to go to Club World Cup. You're getting tickets to go to Chelsea. Right? These are all the perks of doing what you're told, good little children. You know what I'm saying? They're Dorothy and Wizard of Oz walking down that fucking Blueco brick road, bro. Yeah? And he ain't going nowhere. So when I land it and I say it for what it is, I'm negative. I hate my club. I don't hate my club. I love my club. I stand up for my club. I will not stand up for this clown ownership, though. Clown Lake. Let me say this, Dan, yeah, before we move on to whatever you want to discuss, yeah? All right? I had Eunice Talks Blueco now. He's on Shootout with Benson Edges. Both come on my platform. I've got them clipped, Blueco out, changed the model. This project's never going to work. Now, they're literally like the fiddlers, bruv. You know, they're playing wonderful Blueco tunes at the minute. All right, they've got a 10% discount. They're teaming up. I've got Eunice who co-signed with me, exposing Vivid Seats, which is why the Premier League investigated, why the whole fan base decided to do a protest. Yeah, all right. I'm the one that got Clown Lake stickers on Talk Sport and Simon Jordan talking about the protest and talking about Vivid Seats and talking about. I influence. That's what I do. I don't do it as a job. I don't do this for clicks and subs. I've been shadow banned on my channel I can't tell you how many times where they take subscribers off me, they take comments, they hide they don't give notice. All my ultras can vouch for me, bruv. You know what I mean? But I still keep going because I will never be bought, bruv. You can't buy me out, bruv. You know what I mean? And all these platforms, Dan, they have all gone down I'll play it safe route. I won't call out the ownership. I'm tired of doing that. Nothing's going to change. Well, funny enough, when the protests happen, it damages their image, doesn't it? And what damages their image damages their project. And that's how you hurt them. And you hurt them financially as well. Well, you're not doing that anymore. I'm the only one doing it. I stand there on my J's, bruv, and I land it, bruv. I wear my Stony, my heart, my Chelsea on my sleeve 24/7, bruv. You know what I mean? And I'm up for a fight, no surrender mentality. But the reality is everyone's bought in the game. And that's the problem.
Why do you think that is, though, Johnny? How can people say 1 minute they want the ownership out and the next minute, actually, no, I'm all right. They're too scared to say how it is or what?
Yeah, because they'll get shadow banned. They'll get attacked, bruv. Eunice has seen my channel, bruv. Bruv, Dan, let me put it in simple terms, right? I'm on holiday, yeah? I'm on the beach. I'm smoking a nice little Havana, having a drink. I'm in the sunshine. I want to dip my toes in the water. Before I do that, I check my phone, put a video out. I want to read some of my ultras comments. All of a sudden, I've gone from, I think at that point I was on 14,000, yeah? I'd gone from 14,000 or whatever it was. Every 5 minutes I was refreshing. I was gaining 20 subs, 30 subs, 15 subs, 40 subs. I go, what the fuck's going on here, bruv? In less than 24 hours, I gained over 1,000 subscribers. I ain't even streamed for 2 days, right? It's unheard of, bruv. It don't work. It don't happen like that. You know, you got a channel. Everyone's got a channel. I've got evidence. YouTube won't even fucking get back into contact with me. So what am I going to do? Go and get solicitors on the case and try and take down YouTube, bruv. You know what I mean? What are we doing here, bruv? I ain't stupid. Some of the biggest channels in YouTube have been shut down because they landed. This ownership has got everyone tapped up, and that's what we're up against, yeah? Because it's the PR train that allows them to do what they do, yeah? And to put things in as simple terms, yeah, this ownership took a 500 million loan with Aries Management with double-digit interest rates of 12.9%. They also took a syndicate bank loan of 702 million from JP Morgan and Bank of America, yeah? All right, and that's on about 9%, 8% interest. You do the maths, bruv. And that's going to be paid over 10 years. They've stripped all our assets. We're in more debt than Roman left us because he left us debt-free. We have got a squad that is a shambles, to have it right. And we're in need. We've got Melts coming on going, oh, we need additions. We need more additions. You want more? Give me more. Please, sir. Please. What, you all fucking Oliver Twist all of a sudden, bruv? Like you can't, like we ain't spent enough money already. We'll have a day off, bruv. You know,
mate, there's been enough money spent. Let me tell you that. Look, I want to ask you about the kind of you're obviously playing tonight Champions League. I think you said it's at Atlanta tonight, and then the thoughts for the rest of the season, bruv. In terms of where you think you're going to finish, what are you saying for the Champions League and the Premier League this season for Chelsea,
bruv? Like it's a top 4 battle for Chelsea, isn't it? You know, that's the badge of honor, isn't it? Like we're not going to win the league. We ain't winning the league. You can't be dropping points. You see, before we beat Barcelona and we drew to Arsenal, where was all this title charge talk? Because at the start it was, and then the reality hit home. You know, back to life, back to reality. Brown envelopes keep flying about. Yeah, we've gone to losing to Sunderland and Brighton, our daddy. You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing. Yeah, Man United. You know. And then we've had these results just now. Because with a young team, you get what? You don't get consistency, you get the opposite. So you've got an inexperienced manager. The manager comes out, oh, trust the process, you know. And I blame Arsenal for this trust the process. I blame Arsene Wenger, bruv, for this top 4 as a trophy. It's dead mentality, bruv. This is not how you build upon success, you know. And we were successful. You know, people go, we're on a decline under Roman. Bollocks. Go in the last 5 years. Ask him, Dan, next time these melts are on. Ask him. What did you win in those 5 years? Oh, is that not good enough? It's not good enough. No, you don't want a Champions League. You don't want a Europa League. You don't want the Club World Cup. You don't want the Super Cup. That's like a Conference League, is it? Have a day off. What we're doing here? Yeah.
Facts. You're spitting facts, bro. I don't get it either. I'm with you. I was much more scared of the Roman Abramovich Chelsea than I am of the Todd Bowley Chelsea, whatever the hell you want to call it now. Blueco. Look, I got to be real.
Bonnie Blueco.
Bonnie Blueco. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Do forgive me. I got to be real. I don't think Chelsea are winning either of the Champions League or the Premier League. Look, you can win a cup because you win trophies, right? Ten Hag's won a trophy. Yeah, Maresca can win a trophy. He did it last year, but I think, in terms of where Chelsea are trying to get to, I think it's miles away, if I'm honest. And yeah, I think you need to spend more money, which is hilarious, really. But you need to spend it wisely, because you ain't spend it wisely, in my opinion. It's been pissed up the wall, in my opinion. Look,
so Dan, why couldn't we get Osimhen, Bastoni, Donnarumma? Why couldn't we do that? Why couldn't we go and get Lewis-Skelly in January for 50 million? Yeah, for me, he's one of the best players ever. Like at the moment, he's
because they're counting, it's too much money. They want too much wages, and they're not going to be any more profit.
Yeah. Did I care when Roman was spending money? Did I give a shit that he was signing Ballack? Bruv, I was worrying about fitting Ballack and Lampard in the same team. Yeah.
Facts.
All right. Now it's the traffic cone and Casado. And, we can't have him in a double pivot. Why not? Why not? Why can't you have him in a double pivot? Oh, you need two other midfielders to compensate, to carry this traffic cone. Get out of here, bruv. You know what I mean? Builders have got more equipped traffic cones than this fucking club have got at the minute. All right? Like, what are we doing here? I was used to getting served Ballacks. Now I'm getting run scallops, you know?
No, it's facts, man. I said this, man. I said Kvaratskhelia. I said that Chelsea should be going in for Osimhen. I said at the back they should be the ones going in for Mark Guehi, not Liverpool. Like, you need some quality at the back, man. It's not good enough. Fofana's never fit enough. Yeah, Levi Colwell. I don't think he's John Terry. Sorry, I don't. And in goal, I mean, let's be real. Your goalkeeper is. I know he's been a bit better in the last few, but he's been absolutely awful in my opinion.
Well, he's in Winter Wonderland with Cole Palmer, isn't he? Apparently.
Oh, what in go on.
Well, they're saying we're in Sanchez Wonderland. You know,
Sanchez Wonderland. It's the song though. He used to be shy. Now he's all right. Walking in a Sanchez Wonderland. That is the song.
I mean, that tells you about the standards, doesn't it? He used to be shy, but now he's all right. Oh, he's all right. All right, it's all right. Chelsea's here. Fuck off. Have a day off, man. Like, seriously, what are we doing here? Who's sponsoring this? Who's sponsoring this nonsense? I've got fucking rivals bantering us, yeah? Grow some bollocks, land the minerals, and say it for what it is if you truly love Chelsea. No, you love your pound note. You want to build your platforms. You want to get your next story. That's all that matters. And we ain't got a sponsor on our shirt for the 4th year running. A club like Chelsea ain't got a fucking front of shirt sponsor. What is that?
It's
Dan, the fact that you're laughing, bruv, it just winds me up, you know. How can anyone not laugh at this? Yeah?
Bro, look, I'm loving it because I'm an Arsenal fan. However, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be like you. I'd be demanding the owners out. But I don't see enough of it in your fan base. I don't see it. They're not united. Half of them tell me that they've got a brilliant squad, best midfield in the world, superb world-class fullbacks, a second to best attack in the league, and a goalkeeper that's a brilliant shot stopper. We'll go and win the league then. Why aren't you winning the league? You should be. If that's true, go and win the league. They can't do it. They can't even finish above it. They can't. You know, last time you beat us was in COVID, by the way. Arsenal Chaz. Yeah. Last time he beat us, Lukaku was up top. Reece James scored at the Emirates, right? That's the last time you beat us. Last time that you beat us at the Bridge was under Unai Emery, bruv. It's a joke. It's a joke, mate. Unai Emery left in 2018, wasn't it? Or 19, whatever it was.
Like, and he's landing them good evenings right now, isn't he? Fucking hell.
He's doing well, mate. He's doing bloody well.
Yeah. Even Bournemouth, bruv. They got a pack of cherries from Lidl's, and they're still fucking managed to get a draw, bruv. You know, toothless against us. Like, we drew to Karabakh, you know? Karabakh. You know how much their squad cost? 300 grand. Yeah?
It's mad, bro. It's mad. But look, man, let me ask you quickly because I do want to move to Arsenal.
Yeah, go on. Let's move on. Yeah.
Mikel Arteta, I've had my doubts for the last few years. Good squad now. Bert has come in, actually made Edu look a bit silly. He's brought in players. There's no more excuses. Arsenal have got to win trophies. But there has been a few moments this season already where we've shown where we can drop the ball with this guy. And I know we've got injuries again, but I don't want to hear it because we've got the best squad in the league, everyone keeps telling me. So let's go and prove it. What do you make of Arsenal and Arteta this season, Johnny?
Well, I think if he doesn't win it in phase 6, then he's got to get binned, isn't he? I truly believe if you've got an Ancelotti, someone of that ilk, yeah, who's been there, done it in every league, then I think you'd be more serious. I will say with Lego Ed, when I watched the presser of Enzo Maresca, he looked like Dr. Evil, bruv. He was fidgeting. He was, stroking his beard, pouting his lips like he's getting ready to get, spanked when he called out, I want a centre back, and the ownership said, no, we don't believe we need a centre back. So he got spanked there. And then I watch Lego Ed do his. I have to call him Lego Ed because he ain't elite yet. When he done his presser, bruv, the geezer don't even blink. Yeah, he's like he's ready to go to war, bruv. He looks like a psycho. You know what I mean? I think he has built something there. He's built something at Arsenal. But the facts are, he won an FA Cup with Good Evening's team. And he ain't done nothing since, or a charity shield, if you want to throw that one in here, but a silver plate. But the PR's on a silver plate. I'll tell you that for free. But Arsenal, you've bought Gyökeres, you've got Declan Rice, who for me, best player you've got. Like, I think he's an outstanding player, like levels, bruv. You know what I mean? Proper gravy. And then you got probably the best 2 central defenders. You've got a goalkeeper that can play at the back, good shot stopper. Saka, we all know what Saka can do, but he's burnt out. So you've got to manage him. And now you've brought in the gang sign, fucking Madueke, you know what I mean? From Chelsea as backup to him. You've got, I don't rate Martinelli, I'll be real. So who's on the left? Trossard's on the left, who's been in form for you lot. But your squad is strong. But no matter how strong your squad is, if you lose key parts to your spine, you're going to struggle. If you come against decent teams, I think this is your best chance to win the league. Let's have it right. Liverpool are in the gutter. You know how far they're in the gutter? I swear they're a point or 2 points behind us. We've got Man United level with us. Right? Man City are now 2 points behind you, so you've already bottled a healthy gap, which is a shambles. At one point, you had the best defense and the best. You weren't even conceding shots. You were let alone goals. Which told you about your back line. And there was all this talk that you're going to break Chelsea's record. That's a long way from Starbucks. Let's have it right. I don't think anyone's going to break that. But when you've got that defense, you've always got a chance. I think you've got a good chance to win the league. But I do think you need that mentality from that gaffer who's been there and done it as well. And he hasn't got that. He hasn't got it. So he needs to do it. Not only the players, he needs to do it. I truly believe if you don't do it this season, like you saw the reaction to all your players doing all this like a fucking madman on the ground, like they're bowing, bowing to Chelsea. I'm joking. Come on. They were all on the floor because, that's a bad loss. That's a bad loss. And I think your heads will go down if you don't do it this year. And I think they'll lose all belief in Arteta, bruv. They won't. He's done. If he doesn't win this year, he's done. I'm surprised that your fan base has accepted this geezer for this long.
Facts.
I'll be real.
Facts. Well, you got Xabi Alonso, who's actually a Real Madrid player who's won stuff, and they've given him 6 months. They want him out already. We've given this geezer who wasn't even a legend at this club 6 years. What's happening here? Look, don't get me wrong. This season, if he wins it, and we give him till May, because that's what we've been told he's going to win something this year, fair play, he wins something, and I'll keep this stum. But I've been saying that for 5 years, John. Do you know what I mean? And people have been calling me negative and toxic, and you're not a proper fan because you don't believe in this club. No, I support this club, but if I don't believe in it, I'll tell you I don't believe in it, and I'll explain why. And every single season, I keep being right that we haven't got across the line. That's the only thing. I rate the squad. I like who we bought in. I think the owners, for the first time, have actually backed Berta and have spent a hell of a lot of money. I think that the fans are all great in the stadium now, and we've got a bit more belief in our team. He's just got to do it now. That's the only question mark I've got, bruv, is that can he get us across the line? And if the answer's no, then we've got to go and get Lewis-Skelly or someone who knows how to do it. Someone with a CV that goes win. That's all we've got to go and do, mate. Know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, Lewis-Skelly, I wanted him before we got this championship geezer, you know, and everyone's going, no. And look at him, bruv. Look at him. Look at what beautiful football does he play? Look at the football. Look at the young team he's got, you know. And I blame the Club World Cup for or that one game, because who did we play up to that point? You know, PSG, we beat them, and in any one-off game, any team's got a chance. It's a cup final. Let's have it right. You know,
played all these Brazilian teams before, though, wasn't it, to get there? Didn't really know who they were. You were playing to get to the final. I know you got to beat them in front of you, though, to be fair, but
yeah, of course. But listen, Man City, they're not that consistent. All right, and if Haaland gets injured, I think they'll struggle because he's firing. Liverpool are nowhere near what happened with Salad the other day. You know, this is the problem with football now. You know, this is the problem. These players think they can come out.
What did you make of that then, just quickly? What did you make of that?
I think he's been promised by the club after being held to ransom to sign that new contract. They offered him, I think, well, I'd say sign a ransom, but it was 400 grand a week. He's not going to turn that down. Let's have it right. But they knew they were going to lose him on a free. So what they done was they signed him on a new contract. They brought in all these players that don't actually suit the style of play with Salah. You know, your Isaacs and your Ekitekes. They're not Yotas. They're not Firminos. So, you know, and you've lost Diaz. So, you know, Wirtz is kind of that number 10, but where does he slot in? And I think at the end of the day, Mohamed Salah has disrespected the club. But at the same time, I think he's being used by the club because they want that money for him. And now you've got spit-faced Carragher calling him out because he's gone against the club and this and that. The reality is, bruv, without Salah last year, would they have won the league? Would they have won the league when they done last time, or the Champions League? You know, you've got to give a bit of a balanced view on it. And you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But what it does tell me is the dressing room ain't looking too healthy, bruv. And I say that about Arsenal. You've seen Saliba filming his mate noshing off, bruv. I mean, God knows what's going on in your dressing room and what's going on in Liverpool's dressing room. You know, we don't know the state of the dressing room. You know, it's not good. It's not healthy. And that reflects the results. But in Salah's defense, who's been playing better than Salah for him not to play? No one is. So you might as well play Salah. And slots out of his depth when it comes to this. And I think player power with clubs, it's got to stop. You've got to nip that in the bud. You know, that can't go on. We've seen it in the past too many times, you know. So what owners normally do is sack the manager. They'll sack the manager and rather than, you know, get rid of so many players. I don't think, listen, it doesn't surprise me that Salah's done what he's done, because he's obviously pissed off. And something's been said clearly for him to react like that. You know, and the results aren't good.
I agree. It ain't good, man. It's looking bad for him, and I think he'll be gone, whatever. But I don't know what's happening with Arnie Slot, mate. Dear me, he's been terrible this season. I mean, how can you break the transfer record twice in one window and be this bad? It's like he's not got the best out of any of those players. There's only Dominic Szoboszlai I can say he's played well. Van Dijk's looking absolutely horrific. Konate's looking an absolute... I mean, what has he been doing? He's been looking absolutely terrible. I don't think Conor Bradley's good enough for Liverpool. I know Frimpong's been injured. Kirkes, I mean, crikey, he looks like that Moreno. Let's be real. He just can go forward. He can't defend. Their midfield's been a shambles. McAllister's been... I don't know where he's been. And then up top, there's only really Ekitike that's been doing anything. Gakpo's been underperforming. You've got Isak and Wirtz that can't get goals or assists for some reason. And Chiesa is probably the only person who's looking better on the right-hand side than Salah because no one else can take the job. So I just think when there's that many players that are underperforming, Arnie Slot is going to probably have to get sacked. But this season, mate, it does seem like at the moment it's going to be Arsenal or City in terms of the title. Yeah. And I wanted to get your opinion on who you think will win the league before we wrap up, because I do think that Manchester City Pep Guardiola knows how Haaland is on fire. Foden's now picking it up. Man City have improved with the signing of Donnarumma defensively and with the players they've got. But Arsenal have got the best squad in the league, and a lot of people say that Arsenal need to win it this year, including myself. But are we going to, Johnny? That's what I want to know.
You struggled last year with injuries in your front line, so I think like you got to take that into account. Last year, you lost pretty much your entire front line. That affects any team. One, you can get away with 2 or 3. No, it's hard. This season already, you're losing your centre backs. I think we're going to have a lot more injuries across the Premier League anyway, and you've got the World Cup coming, so that the players are going to take that into account. Which I think why is Cole Palmer's not going to have surgery on his groin. The fractured toes nonsense. But in terms of like Man City are in transition. Liverpool are in transition, which proves when you make so many signings, you know, it affects your balance. Players need to learn each other. You need chemistry. You need to, you know, the manager needs to work with them day in, day out in training. Lego Head has got that. He's got that. He's got no excuses. He's got a team. Bar Gyökeres and Zubamendi, I think, has been very good for you in the midfield with Declan Rice. I think that is a key because you lost what's his name?
Yeah.
I've said on my platform, I think City will do it just because they've got that manager that knows how to do it. He knows how to take pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, and I think if he doesn't have certain injuries, like Foden's turning it on at the minute, and he's been fishing for how long? He loves to fish, but we ain't seen him on the pitch. And now he's starting to clutch, you know, serve up clutch moments. Haaland scoring. You know, they got that Reigner's, Mamouche, Cherky, bruv.
Cherky. Yeah,
you
Cherky's
know,
a baller.
I don't rate Doku, bruv, that Pokemon fella. I don't rate him. He's a one-trick pony, but he can be effective in the system to help the team. Their defense is shaky, but they've got a world-class goalkeeper that might be able to dig them out. So in terms of title charge, I want to sway with City, but Arsenal have to win it this year. You have to. Like only at the Bayern game, because we lost to Bayern 3-1. You beat them 3-1. You completely dominated them. All right, that was a fantastic performance by Arsenal. Like Declan Rice, outstanding, bruv. You know, all round, very, very solid performance and dominated them. Like, and that's one of the favourites in the Champions League under Lightbulb Head. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, you've how can you go from that to now the last sort of three results, and you're thinking, shit, it's back to reality, which brings you back to you need to keep that mentality, that belief, and the standards, bruv. And if you're not upholding those standards in every single game, how are you going to win the league? League is based on consistency. So you have to be the most consistent. Doesn't mean you play the best football. You know, it just means that you've just got to grind out results. I think Arsenal have got the ability to do that. But I think City seem to now to be outscoring teams. They're conceding, but they're outscoring them. So if they know that they can score a lot of goals, they know they're always in with a chance to win a game. Whereas you lot, I don't think your creativity is as good as Man City's. I think your set pieces are phenomenal, and Declan Rice is right up there when it comes to delivering set pieces and whatnot. And you've got the highest amount of goals scored from set pieces. You've scored the most goals, but you've got to look at the points on the board because that's the data we all look at. That's what don't lie, you know. And if you're only 2 points ahead City, then there's a lot of work still to be had.
I agree. I actually do. And the problem is, when you drop points and they say it's all right, it's still 7 points. Then you drop points, it's all right, it's still 5. Now it's all right, it's still 2. Hang on a minute. When is it not going to be all right then? We've got to go careful. We've got some winnable games, but let's be real, no game's easy. Manchester City are on a bit of a run, but I will say this. I don't think Manchester City look like the same Man City, and I don't think Arsenal look like the same Arsenal. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think it will be close. I don't think Arsenal will go fly ahead with it, and I don't think City will either. I think it could go to the last couple of games. I do think it's that close. I don't see any of the other teams getting involved. So let me ask you this before we close. What's your prediction for Chelsea this year? What are you saying?
I'll be real. I don't know if Cole Palmer's going to hit the levels this season. I mean, he's my favourite player at Chelsea right now.
He's brilliant.
like he come out in the presser aiming at people like me. You know, there's a lot of people talking shit about us and whatnot, but I'm only here to raise the standards. I'm only here to put pressure on these lot. And Cole Palmer is someone who, for me, is one of the best players in the world. And I think he deserves to be playing with elite players, like all round. And I think if you put him in a team with that sort of that squad, he will raise the bar, bruv. He will make any team favourites for whatever competition. He's that good, you know. He's a wonderful player, and he gives me hope at Chelsea. Casado, the second player, who we can all see is the most important component at Chelsea in terms of how we run as a team. Without him in the midfield, we capitulate because our squad depth is a shambles. And Fernandes ain't the one. He just ain't the guy. I believe Fernandes needs to be sold for Chelsea to move forward. End of story, bruv. You know, he's not the golden ticket for us to go on any sort of title winning charge. And then the back line is the problem. Trev Chalobah is our best defender, and people hate it when I say that. But the reality is that tells you about the recruitment. You know, Trev was exiled at our football club, banished from training ground facilities from pre-season, loaned to Crystal Palace, then brought back. They were told everyone he can't play in the domestic system. Yet he's been part of our 6 clean sheets this season. He scored against Arsenal with 10 men. Scored against Man United with 10 men. He's basically a very important player because that inverted knees for Fofana ain't fit all the time. Lavia, who's meant to be the key to unlocking the fluidity of our game, he's made out of glass. He's Mr. Glass, bruv. Like, he's never available. So availability is your best ability, and we've got too many players like that. And Reece James, our captain, is world class. There's no debate. Like, people coming out going, Reece James is world class. Well, I fucking knew that 3 years ago. Like what are we doing here? Revisionism or something? Like,
it's only because of his fitness. It's only ever been because of the fact that he could never keep fit. This season he has. Now people are seeing him, but he's always been quality, mate. He's always been.
Bruv, he gets into any world. Real Madrid wanted him over Trent. That's a fact, you know, but he couldn't stay fit. But the bottom line is, Dan, I'll be real. I can't really give predictions. It's a bit early for me.
Yeah, it is early.
The reason being is I always wait till January, like just after December, because our fixtures are filth. Yeah, they're proper nasty. We got and if you look at our last 6 fixtures of the season, it ain't like last year. It's real. It's dark. I'm telling you. Yeah. But we got Newcastle away coming up. We ain't got a good record there. We got City coming up away. You know, we got some really horrible Villa. We got Everton at home next. Who are, I think, Grealish. Why don't we sign Grealish? I love Grealish, bruv. You know, when you give him, when you take one, he's a wonderful player, bruv. You know, Pep ruined that geezer, man. Ruined him, bruv. You know, what a talent. But listen, at the end of the day, it's a top 4 battle. If we get top 4, then everyone seems to be happy. And it's like now, it's like, oh, we'll go on the title charge next year. All right, well, where are we going in the market? Like, who are you going to buy again? And more kids. We signed a 15-year-old the other day. It's bad, Dan. It's bad. It's bad. It ain't stopping. It's not going to stop. I told you, man. Epstein FC. Yeah.
It ain't stopping, bruv. It ain't stopping.
Look, man, all these ponies.
It's got to change because it's going to just be the same old, bruv.
I'm going to ask you, do you believe Arsenal can win the league? Do you believe that this is your year? Because you've had to suck up all this PR, all this progression and building nonsense, you know. What about winning in the now? What about the here and now? Facts. Why are we always looking to the future, bruv? You Facts. Know? What is all this? Are they turning into Mystic Megs now? Like, is this the mentality now? Like, why are we always looking? Listen, you can make plans, all right, but you've got to deal with them now. Yeah. If you don't deal with it now and work to the now, then the future's irrelevant.
I'm with you, man. Big up to Jen, by the way. Big up to Jenny. Big up to Brad if you're watching as well. Big up to both of you. Make sure you do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe, people. Look, I'll be real. It is about the now. And phases and projects and 5-year plans and all this crap, to me, is a load of waffle. I know managers that don't need plans. Look at Antonio Conte, mate. He walked into Napoli and he won with Scott McTominay. He didn't need a phase or a plan or building stages and all this crap, did he? He just went and won. So I don't believe in it all, personally. And you ask me, do I think? Well, he's got to, Johnny. If he don't win this season, he will have to go. Everyone's saying the same thing. Even if you're a fan of him, you're not a fan of him. Everyone knows this is the last throw of the dice, mate. And if he can't do that, then he does have to get out. And we do have to replace him with the right man. Now, if you said to me now, do you want Arteta out and bring in De Zerbi or someone like that, I'd say no. But if you're saying to me, let's bring in a Luis Enrique, or like you've said, some of the managers that you've mentioned in terms of their CV, then of course I'm saying yes. So look, I've got to be real. I'm not massively keen on Mikel Arteta and haven't been for like some time. I don't deny that he's got us to a good place. I don't deny that he's got us back challenging. I don't deny that he's taken us from where we weren't challenging to where we are. But now it's time to deliver, because I didn't want to wait 5 years to try and get back into a title race. I wanted to go and win trophies, mate, because that's been 21 years now without winning a Premier League trophy.
So would you accept, right? Let's say you don't win the league, you get a semi-final Champions League, and you win an FA Cup and a Carabao. Let's throw in a little cherry on there. You get a Carabao Cup and FA Cup. Is that acceptable, bruv?
So a lot of the fans are saying that it wouldn't be acceptable because you need a Premier League and a Champions League. Otherwise, you're not interested. I view it a little bit differently, because when I grew up, sentimentally, those trophies meant quite a lot to me. And I know people laugh at the Energy Drink Cup, but it wasn't an Energy Drink Cup when we beat Sheffield Wednesday in '93 for me. It was a trophy that everyone celebrated. George Graham took seriously. Same as the FA Cup. It's got 14 of them for a reason, mate, because they're our trophy, right? So if he wins them and he does a cup double, I'm not sacking him, because he's got 2 trophies. And the aim of the game is to win those 4 trophies. And he's got 2 of them, right? So I wouldn't. Some, however, would say that ain't enough, Dan. He's got to go and win the Premier League or the Champions League. Otherwise, I'm not interested. I'm not going to sit there and say that's a delusional thing to say, because that's their opinion. That's what they think. And I wouldn't sit there and say you're out of order, because he hasn't got anything to back it up. Now, I also believe that people, that when they say he should have already won them by now, I agree with that. But he was chucking them in the bin every year, mate, to go for the bigger fish fry. Shouldn't have done that. No way should he have done that. He should have gone all out to win one of those, because when every single March you play in that final, when you win, that gives you the winning mentality to go and do it again in May, which is why I want to go and win this Carabao Cup in May. That's what Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho used to do with Chelsea and Man City, bruv. They used to go and win it in March and go, right, we're going to go and win it again in May. And that's how he won the doubles and the League Cups, and they took it seriously. Now, in the past, Arsene Wenger used to just play the kids. This time, Arteta's just not even taking it seriously. He's just gone, get out of that. That's in the way of our Champions League hope or our Premier League hope. You've got to try and walk before you can run. You can't sit there and say, right, we just all of a sudden, after 21 years without a Premier League and for over 30 without a Champions League or any Champions League in terms of European trophy, I should have said, you want to go and poo-poo them trophies. No, man. It's been over 30 since we've won a League Cup. You know that. Yeah, 93 is the last time we won a bloody League Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think we have to go and take them seriously as well. I do think that we can win the league. I do think we can win the league, but I think that we've got to keep our players fit, and Arteta's got to show that he can get across the line.
I think you need to win that Carabao Cup if you want to have a chance to win the league. If you don't win that Carabao Cup, I just think you need that. You need your players and the new players you sign to taste that feeling of winning. When you have that, you crave it, and it raises the levels up. I've seen it under Jose 100%, like you mentioned, when we first won our titles. It's like you've got to have that, know what it takes to win, and that's why I think Pep has that slight edge, even though he's got a younger team at the moment. He hasn't got Rodri as well. Everyone's forgetting he ain't got Rodri, bruv. You know what I mean? You know, that's their heart and blood.
Probably their best player. Probably one of their best players.
Ballon d'Or, bruv. Oh, well, that's another thing, Dan. They were coming out, these melts in the fan base, saying, oh, when have we had 2 potential Ballon d'Or players at Chelsea? Thank you, Clearlake, and all this nonsense, bruv. It's like we didn't have Lampard, you know. We didn't have Eden Hazard.
Who were they saying
even
the Ballon d'Ors?
Neymar didn't win the Ballon d'Or, did he? And we were putting Neymar and Hazard in there with Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, bruv. You know, what is all this delusion to try?
Who were they saying the Ballon d'Ors for you then?
Oh, it would be Cole Palmer, 100%, and Esteval, wouldn't it?
Esteval.
Esteval hasn't done anything against Arsenal. He didn't do anything against Arsenal. He's a lovely player, bruv. Like, I back him.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to go to the top. But you look at it now, and you think, and Cole Palmer's a baller, by the way. But you look at it now, you got to give Esteval a bit of time before you start comparing him to Lamine Yamal, like some of your fan base are. Like, let him play, let him do his thing. You don't want him to be a Lamine Yamal. You want him to be like him. You want him to go and do his own thing. you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's going to be a great player. I really do.
I
But
think he'd be better than him. I think he'd be better than Yamal. But
maybe,
he needs to be.
maybe.
He needs to be in a team that's balanced. For him to listen, you can't expect these young kids to develop if everything around them was the same age or younger. You know, you need that level of, you know, experience and leadership to raise the levels to help them in training. We had a bastard mentality in training, you know, where we had world-class players in every position, bruv. We had captains and leaders in most positions. You know, Ashley Cole, John Terry, Petr Cech, Ivanovic, Lampard, Drogba, Ballax. You know, these are serious generals, bruv. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't got that, Chelsea. Oh, you're going to bring me Casado only. Reece James, who's not really a captain, if I'm being honest, but he sets an example at least, you know, being Chelsea. And I'll pick the players that I think are the only ones that are good signings. Is obviously Cole Palmer, Casado, Reece James they inherited. In fact, he's the only player left from our Champions League winning side. How about that? That's disgusting, that is. But I even have to say that. What's his name? Cucurella I put in there, but he's gonna get sold. That's why he signed a contract. And most of these players won't stay down. That's the point. They won't be here. They realise they're not going to win a Premier League and all that, or a Champions League. They're not going to stay, bro.
Cole Palmer wants to win, man. So does Caicedo. They're going to leave if you ain't going to provide them trophies. You're going to get this in a couple of years' time. Do you know what I mean? Like Arsenal did with Fabregas and Van Persie and Alexis Sanchez. That's what we were doing. We were like, come on, hold on, one day, and then realise one day ain't going to come and they'll go. That's what'll happen, bruv. But let me do these couple of super chats and then we'll get out of here, bruv. You got a big fan in the chat, man. Clown owners out, Don Roman in. So send in the super sticker, and he said the only real Chelsea content creator watched all your streams for 3 years. Big up to you, bro. You got a fan there, Johnny, that's for sure. Oh shit, Johnny, yes, land it, bro. Everyone happy that you're on, and I'm happy that you've come on as well. Really appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, man. It's been a really great chat, mate. And I think you've been spitting facts, and I appreciate your kind of thoughts on the Arsenal as well. What you got coming up? Have you got anything coming up on yours, like content wise, or what you up to at the moment, bruv?
I'll probably do I'll do a review after the Champions League game tonight, and then I'll just carry on doing a few streaming and whatnot. I'll do it when I feel I need to do it, and yeah, anyone who wants to support, big up to you. Anyone don't, jog on. It is what it is, bruv. You know what I mean? But yeah, love to everyone and on Dan's channel, and everyone in the chat that supported today's stream and supports Dan. And big up to you, Dan, for giving me the opportunity to come on, bruv. I appreciate it.
Come on, man. You're welcome anytime. You know that everyone likes listening to you, and so do I, and support your content. So big up. Make sure you're following Johnny Minerals on all platforms, and make sure you've hit like and subscribe on this one. Make sure you're following OK Jerseys, who are today's sponsor as well. Links in the description there. Use the code 12MAN, and we will see you soon. We're out of here, people. Layers.